Because he played Eragon, not Aragorn, but Eragon. He was in Downton Abbey and in Outlander. But then he became a big part of the Star Trek family because of his role as Jack Crusher, son of Beverly and Jean-Luc. So please give a warm FedCon welcome from Star Trek Picard at Speleers! You can see that, please.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
When did you arrive in Germany? Because yesterday you were in Switzerland.
I started my day yesterday in Basel, where I was at another lovely event, and then I caught a train. Do you want to know the whole story? Yeah. If you're into travel, I got a train from Basel to Zurich, Zurich to Zurich Airport. Then I think someone messed this up. I then got Zurich Airport to Munich. Yes, I know. Munich to Bonn, Cologne, and then here. And I think someone needs to be fired because I feel that there's a much simpler way of doing that. So I will be firing my agent. And if anybody wants to take on that responsibility of being my agent, well, thank you so much. But it's lovely to be here, nonetheless.
Did you know about FedCon before?
I did.
Oh!
I did. I've heard many things about FedCon.
What is special?
Well, I heard that you lot like to party. Thank you. And I wasn't expecting. I walked in last night and I think Britney Speleers, was playing full volume last night, which I thought, oh, we're in Germany. It's going to be like a party. It's going to be like a techno rave, but it wasn't. It was like 90s pop music. But people were really going for it. I wasn't ready for that, but I've been told by many people, Todd Stashwick, I'm sure. Geez, that was a delayed reaction. You needed to, Todd Stashwick. Thank you. He waxed lyrical about this event. I've heard fantastic things about the chief organiser as well, who I'm yet to meet. I'm very excited to meet him. And also, I was with a guy called Graham McTavish yesterday. Graham McTavish? Yeah, so I was with him yesterday. We knew each other from other shows, but he'd been here. I think we had a Hobbit one down here or something like that.
HobbitCon, MagicCon, RingCon, yeah.
Beautiful. And he was saying it's pretty wild. So I'm looking forward to seeing how wild you all get. Yes, you can applaud yourselves. Yes.
Great. Since this is your only single panel for this weekend, let's start right away with questions from the audience.
Right. Oh, you didn't want to answer any? Okay.
What?
No, I'm joking. No.
There are 5 microphones, 3 downstairs, 1 in the middle, 1 to your left, 1 to your right, and 2 upstairs. And I think we start with Worth the Spotlight.
Oh, wow.
In the middle. So have fun. If you need anything, I will be in my room.
See ya.
Yeah, thanks. We will gladly show you how wild we get here. And my first question would be, I found it rather nice touch. You have this beautiful British accent, obviously. And in the show, they said, what's with the British accent? Yeah, well, he went to school in England and he kind of stuck with it or something.
Yes.
So my question is, couldn't you be bothered with an American accent, or didn't you manage to, or was it a?
I'm incredibly offended by that. What is your name? What is your name?
Sorry.
What is your name?
Chris.
Hi, Chris. Incredibly offensive question, Chris.
I know.
No, I'm not joking. No, There were conversations about whether I could do an American accent or not, and I can, I promise. We just felt that there was this whole notion about him going to a British school. I think people like Patrick's accent. God knows why, he sounds awful, but come on. and I feel that I was happy to go either way, to be honest, and we explored the idea of doing American, but Terry was pretty vehement in his decision that he wanted me to sort of play into my own accent. So, yeah, I mean, I've done American, I'll do American again. In fact, the next thing I'm doing, I've got to do a German accent next. So we can all talk lots this weekend, and I can listen. So yeah, no, I mean, I love doing accents, to be honest, Chris. But yeah, no, it was a collective decision to make him British, not because of my lack of talent.
I can do one. Thanks.
Hi.
Hello, what's your name?
My name's Selena.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting so confused. We're on the spotlight. Hi, what's your name, sir? Hi, let's start that again.
Selena.
Hi, Selena. I'm Ed. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you as well. My question is about, of course, your character, Jack Crusher. Jack Crusher's father, Jean-Luc Picard, is most likely one of the most prestigious characters in the entirety of Star Trek.
Is he?
So I was wondering how exactly you prepared to kind of have this connection to this character with your own character, and if you had any connections to Star Trek before your role as well.
Good question, Selena. I mean, so my answer sort of falls into both of those questions, really. Again, like Terry Matalas, who knows Star Trek inside out. Like, he is a super fanboy of the universe, right? And he has been for a very long time. I discussed with him about, do you want me to explore imitating Patrick? Do you want me to explore what he has done with Jean-Luc? And we talked about it. I mean, I think some of it is there in the writing anyway. You have to bear in mind that there is a forthrightness to Jack that I think Picard has. But I think Jack is very much his own man, and I think because he grew up in a world being told all the time, removed from this great figure, this great sort of, he's a powerful figurehead that society looked up to, right? Looks up to. And I feel that Jack instinctively went against that. And I think, despite himself, he ends up being similar to him, but despite himself, I wanted to just push him away from that and him to try and find his own identity. In many ways, like so many fathers and sons do. I just spoke to my dad this morning, and I love him to bits, but I remember when I was tricky towards him. I've got a 10-year-old son right now, and I can see him already starting to have that, I love you, Dad, but wanting to butt against it. So I wanted to play on the father and son dynamic more than anything else. Having said that, Terry Matalas also, this is the second part. So my dad actually was the sort of only influence I had with Star Trek. Like, he was quite into the original series with Kirk and Spock. That was his vibe, for good reason, right? But I then got sort of nostalgic, wistful memories of where I grew up on the south coast of England, coming back and like sideways rain and grey and sea just churning out waves, and getting home from school, and BBC Two, 6:30, The Next Generation would be on. So I didn't watch it religiously. Oh, come on, this is interesting. Jesus, we need to stop. Oh, fuck off.
Der Fahrer des Wagens. Ja, bitte den Wagen dort wegfahren. KMS 1971, roter Kia. Dankeschön.
Right, can you shut up? Where was I? Yeah, and I had sort of early memories of these characters. So then, coming back to full circle to get ready for the role, Terry Matalas then put me through what he calls Star Trek University, and I've still every now and then go and look at the email, and there were certain episodes, lots and lots and lots of Next Generation episodes that he felt were prevalent and relevant to the story, and that would help me understand who my parents were, but also the world that we were trying to create. And there was also plethora of all the sort of the top Star Trek films in there. So, like anything from Wrath of Khan all the way to First Contact, right? So those were incredibly helpful. But the scripts were very rich as well. Does that help?
Absolutely. Thank
Good,
you.
thank you so much. Where's the spotlight going? Oh, you're up there. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning. Hello. What's your name?
I'm called Heidi.
You're called what? Sorry.
Heidi.
Hello, Heidi. Where are you from, Heidi?
Well, originally from Munich, living in Sweden now, lived in the UK for 9 years.
Okay.
Well, when I saw you on Picard, I thought, well, I've seen that guy before, and then it hit me, it was Downton Abbey. And so I really wonder, what did you think was more fun to play, period drama or sci-fi?
A good question. I don't necessarily know it's about either period being more fun to play. For me, look, Downton was a huge part of my life, both on screen and off screen. And it was a lovely environment to work in, and I've got some fantastic memories about it. But in terms of the fullness of playing a character, and the fullness of being, I don't know, enriched by a process, then playing Jack Crusher in Picard. I mean, he's one of the until the thing I've just finished. I've been saying for ages, I think playing Jack Crusher was possibly my favourite ever role. So for me, it usurps my time in Downton on a purely selfish level. Are you okay with that?
Certainly I am. That's what you say.
Pardon?
I certainly am.
Oh, perfect. You certainly are. Lovely. Cheers, Heidi. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah, the lights. Who's in charge of this spotlight? Where are you?
Up there.
Right. Hello, what's your name?
My name is Julia.
Julia?
Yes.
Nice to meet Julia.
Me too. At first, a feedback from me to you. I saw you in Outlander.
Yes.
And you did a good job because I don't like you. And I'm so happy to see you in Picard because of Picard. I changed my opinion about that.
Good.
And
This is working.
what was your way to the character, your casting process?
Sorry, say that again. What was the...
What was your way of the casting process?
For Picard,
Yes.
I grabbed Terry Metalis by the neck with two hands and said that if he didn't give me the part, I'd kill him. The process was, I have sort of mentioned this before, I think, elsewhere. About a month before I went up for Picard, there was a tape came in that I think was for because it was for Strange New Worlds, and I think it was for Kirk, you know, because Paul Wesley went and played him. And I'm convinced, just the way the writing was and the style of the character, I was like, I think this is what that is. And I thought I did an amazing tape. I was like, fucking smash that, son. You've absolutely... So I do swear, I know, but we're all adults here, more or less, so I'm sorry, it was Saturday. And I thought I did a very good tape. And then I didn't hear a thing. So obviously didn't do a good tape. And then about 2 weeks later, the same casting team sent me this thing called Dylan's Kitchen, which was like a working title for Picard. And there was this part in there, and I was like, okay. And I did this tape, and actually, I recorded it. We were still in COVID, and I recorded it with my wife late at night, and I was miserable, and I nearly stopped, and I was like, this is not working, this is useless, I'm a useless actor, I'm giving up, I can't go off, I'm going to do something else, the whole industry is a part of whatever. And then she said, no, stop being a tart and do it. So I did. I had another go, and we did it, and then about a week after that, people started getting a bit animated in America. And then about a week after that, they were like, oh, we're going to start sorting the visa process out. But no, they said, we need you to screen test with Patrick. I was asked to do an HBO show at the same time, and then we managed to play that against them, and they were like, okay, we want you. They offered me the part, which was nice. And then we had to wait, and then there was a whole thing waiting for my visa to come through because America was pulling everyone out of Afghanistan, and it was like complete chaos. And I almost wasn't able to get on the plane, and they almost had to take the offer away and send it somewhere else. And then I was on a beach in Dorset with my family, and one of my children was throwing up because they drank too much orange juice. And I looked at my phone because I was that kind of dad. I checked my email, and my visa had come through, and I was like, to my wife Asia, I was like, right, you take the daughter, that's fine, I've got to make a phone call. And I started waking people up in America, and then next following day I was on a plane. There you go, that's the casting process. I thought you'd be more impressed with that. Hi.
Very much for being here after your stressful travel.
Oh, it's champagne problems at the end of the day. I could be on the front line of a war, it's not that difficult. What is your name?
Caroline.
Caroline?
Yes.
Caroline. Fleetwood Mac. Anyway, come on, let's go.
Thank you very much. And unfortunately, I maybe have a question you cannot answer, but I really want to tell you about my feelings, because no, it's not what it is. It's just.
Do you want to do this here?
Okay, I've started it completely wrong. I'm a big fan of the Outlander and the Star Trek franchise since my early teens. So I was reading the books, and since Star Trek I've seen Star Trek the first time on TV, I loved it, and I'm involved in both ever since. And then you played this very, very hateful character in Outlander, and I had very strong bad emotions about your character. Great acting, by the way. I know you're not the character, but then.
Well, you don't, but okay.
And then you are the son of Beverly and Picard, and I really love this character. Great acting too, by the way. But I'm still very, very confused about my hate feelings regarding a character for you. And do you have any tip how
to get over that? How to get over your hate, your confusion for me?
Yes.
I think just keep watching, really. Just keep watching. I mean, I think own the confusion. There's nothing wrong with that, is there? I mean, also, thank you very much for your lovely, lovely words. They're hidden in there amongst other things. But no, I don't think you need to worry about being confused. It's just acting.
Okay.
It's not a big deal. It's not that deep. It's fine. We're okay.
Yes, I think it's a broad range you are playing.
Yeah, well then, from my point of view, if that's how you feel, then it's kind of working. Like for me personally, I'm always trying to find new ways of working, but also like I don't like. I think about this the other day. I really don't seem to stick to one type of character, which is great. So if I can confuse you for the rest of our lives, then that's great, Caroline. And we can have this conversation in 5 years' time, and you can say I'm still so confused. I'm confused. I have to do it. Hello.
Hi, Ed.
What's your name?
I'm Doreen.
Doreen.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm a big Downton Abbey fan, and I was hoping if you could maybe expand a little bit on what it was like on set compared to other productions. And do you have a favorite set memory of Dame Maggie Smith?
Downton was, for me, because I was quite young when I was there. I sort of always referenced it as I never went to drama school, so I've always referenced it as a sort of a breeding ground for me to learn. Because the part I played allowed me to traverse being in both upstairs and downstairs, I was able to sort of mix it up with both facets and every element, and as a result was able to absorb and watch and mimic and take on things that were around me, and you know, I got to work with some incredible actors. Siobhan Finneran, if you look at the downstairs, Jim Carter, Siobhan Finneran, Rob Collier, Phyllis Logan, Leslie Nichol, that is just the Joanne Frogger. And being in that melting pot of people in quite a particular environment, where everything is cramped anyway, and the ceilings are low, and it was a wonderful experience being in there, and then completely flipped around with when Jimmy's upstairs as a footman. We didn't say much, but watching all the time as an actor and as a character. And so again, you know, I'm in dining room scenes serving Dame Maggie Smith, Hugh Bonneville, Michelle Dockery, Paul Giamatti steps in, Richie Grant steps in at one point. You know, like people have turned, like some amazing people been there, and again just watching. So I didn't always have the most amazing storylines. I had one very good one, I think, and I would have liked to have had more. But I did get to watch and learn, and the people were fantastic to be around. With Dame Maggie, I mean, she was actually very close to my wife. My wife works in costume, and she was her dresser at the time. And my wife is almost as sharp as Maggie. So I think Maggie liked her, because my wife doesn't suffer fools gladly. So, and I think that's what I loved about Maggie more than anything else. She didn't take any nonsense, you know. And she was a delight to watch and work with. She was whip smart. She was funny. She was very dry, which I love. She used to get very annoyed because there were certain actors upstairs it was when Twitter was a fucking massive thing, and loads of actors up there, and that used to annoy me as well. I can't stand actors having phones at work, even now. Like, I'm like, well, I have it for music, but unless if you're doing this in between a take, how on earth are you engaged with this? And she didn't like it, and I remember her picking up on it quite a lot and rolling her eyes quite a lot, because I'm not going to name names, but there were quite a few people that were constantly on their phones in between takes, which I'm not on board with. So if you ever are getting into acting, or you are actors or anything like that, and you're ever doing anything with me, leave your phone somewhere else, because I'll knock you out otherwise. So yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Drew. Hello, sorry.
Hi.
What's your name?
Sophie.
Hi Sophie, I'm Ed.
You mentioned me before 2 years ago. I think you don't remember.
I'm so sorry.
It was a radio broadcast with someone, I don't know.
It was where?
It was, I guess so, and I wrote a message like, yeah, I'm from Germany, and...
Where did we meet? We met each other?
No, not met, as I mentioned. In
Oh.
a radio broadcast.
In a what, sorry?
In radio broadcast, live radio.
Oh, on radio broadcast.
Yeah.
I mentioned you in a radio broadcast.
And it was, oh my god, it's Ed!
Oh, what, do you mean my friend's radio station, Phoenix Joy, on Smooth FM?
I guess so, yeah.
Well, I mean did you write in? Did you text
Yes,
in?
I texted
Yeah. I
in.
mean, that's about the only radio show. Yes. Lovely, fantastic. How are you?
I'm fine.
Great.
And thank you for being here.
It's great to be here.
Actually, my question is, in Picard season 3, is there any scene that you need to improvise, and it's on cam?
I don't remember. I don't know. Improvisation. I mean, there was little things. I sort of changed words here and there.
Or like, have you ever?
Have I ever improvised? Yeah, yeah, all the time. But Picard wasn't really the place for it. The scripts were quite detailed and locked in, and they were telling a very specific story. I mean, I did little things like me and Frakes would muck about. And what I do like doing, sorry, something's in my eye, which isn't necessarily improv. I do my best to never let two takes be the same, which can alarm people, but I think it keeps everything running as freshly as possible. But yeah, no, I didn't. I've done a lot of improv. You know, the job I was just doing, we were doing quite a lot, and actually the job before that I was doing quite a lot. So yeah, I love to. Yeah, I mean, certain environments allow you to have that freedom. Certain other ones don't. Not that Picard didn't allow freedom, but I felt that we were on a very specific journey and mission. Both metaphorically and literally. So yeah, they didn't use massive amounts of improv. Sorry, Sophie. You probably wanted some incredible story about how I turned into Philip Seymour Hoffman, but that didn't happen.
I have a request.
Come on then.
When we do later a photo session,
yeah.
I want you to do like an evil expression. Because
Right.
I'm an evil arc.
Okay. We can discuss that later, can't we?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, alright, cheers Sophie, thanks for your time. Hi.
Hi,
What's your name?
Sylvia.
Sylvie or Sylvia?
Sylvia.
Sylvia.
So, as a big fan of Eragon, I was wondering whether you have read the books before acting, or whether you've read them afterwards, or what do you think about the books?
Do I think about them? I think about them every day. No, I read the first one when I was cast in the film. And then I very quickly moved on to the second one, Eldest, and I never got beyond Eldest. But I really I preferred Eldest to Eragon, to be honest. That was my preference out of the books, but I didn't get beyond there. I mean, I thought they were amazing writing, and I think if we'd have done, I think because we didn't do more, and the way, I felt quite sad about the whole thing really, and so the fact we didn't do more, I kind of turned my back on all of that, and I didn't then continue to read the books. So I think if we'd done more, then I would have read a lot more. Of course I would have done, but I only got to the first two. I think beyond, I know that they're trying to get it going with Disney at the moment, so I hope they do, because I'm sure they will do a fantastic job.
All right.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, good morning, Ed.
What's your name?
My name's Toby.
Hi, Toby. That's my brother's name.
Oh, well, there you go.
You're not my brother, are you?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Unfortunately.
What?
So my question is, at the end of season 3 of Picard, we see Seven, Ruffy, and Jack go off on their own adventure on the Enterprise, and I was wondering if you could do whatever you want. What would you like to do with the character of Jack going forward?
I thought you were going to ask me something silly, like what would you have done, the three of you, that day? Well, going forward, obviously, I know no disrespect to the others, but at some point I want him to be in the middle chair. That's the plan, right? Let's not muck about here, right? Let's not muck about. We all like the other ones, right? Discovery was good, Stranger Worlds is great, got a lot of time for that. Academy? Could be good, could be great, could be fantastic. We want a spin-off of what we did though, don't we, really? Let's not beat around the bush. Who here wants a spin-off of Picard, of what we did? Who wants Legacy? No. Who wants Star Trek Legacy? That's what we want to. I would do it if Alex Kurtzman phones me up tomorrow, which I don't think he's going to, but if he were to, and said, look, can you drop everything, can you come and do this for 6 years? You have to do it for 6 years minimum. I would be there in a heartbeat. Does that answer the question, Tony?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
fine. Do you know what Countdown is?
Yes.
Do you know the music for Countdown? That's what I was doing. I thought we could all do it together. Hello!
Hello.
What's your name?
Brit.
Brit?
Yes.
Like me, I'm a Brit.
So, it's double T. So you can smack me later, but I need...
Excuse me?
Okay, I need my phone because otherwise I'm gonna...
I don't know, sure. Well, I think what the audience are going to recover from that last comment, that you you get the questions up and we'll all dissect that.
Okay, so my question is, what was your approach to portraying Jack Crusher, especially given his complex lineage and emotional weight in his story? Because Jack has a lot of internal conflict. How did you get into that headspace?
Good question, Britt. A lot of sleepless nights. I got into a terrible habit when shooting that series where I just couldn't sleep and I'd be up every hour, and that habit has now not left me 4 years later. I did a lot of work because I think obviously knowing where the journey goes for Jack, and Terry again, encyclopedia that he is, and having such structured thought process for what the journey would be, allowed me to. I had to know where it was going quite early on, and he told me everything. He told me to keep it to myself before the scripts were coming out, and he told me absolutely everything. But I think it was incredibly challenging because I had to explore mental illness. Really, like we can put the element of Borg that we can put all of that in there, the scientific side and what appeals to an audience, but you have to find a way as an actor to relate to it. And this guy thought there was something deeply wrong with him, and for a very extended period of his life. Now, so I took it on as an illness, as both as a mental and physical illness, which it was in some respects anyway. But that's how I had to explore it, and so a lot of it was, I suppose, having to reach into parts of me that I hadn't had to from a creative standpoint before, like really having to unpick things about myself, how I can relate to Jack, and always trying to find sort of parallels and things that can resonate in my life that would resonate in his life and vice versa. I felt that I put my heart and soul into that part in every way. Like I tried my best to leave no stone unturned, and it was exhausting. I was completely shattered by the end of it because I felt much to the credit of the great writing and the great team around me, but I felt that I was given such a wonderful opportunity, and I had to honour that. And it was tough. It was not an easy process. But also, those are the things that inspire you as an actor, and those are the things that you want to do. You want to tell those stories, you want to do things that are relatable, and that's the beauty of a story like that, is that yes, we can set it in space, and we can put a high concept gloss on it, but this is the beauty of Star Trek. It's still dealing about humanity and what drives us all and what eats away at us all, and everyone is so individual, and how we slot into the societies we slot into. So it's all about exploring human behaviour, and that's what I wanted to do. And I was really early on, look, let's not, of course, we've mentioned him earlier on, Sir Patrick, he is one of the pinnacles of this universe, right? But Terry made it really clear to me. He was like, yes, this is Picard, this is his show, but this is your origin story. You are basically the other lead this season, is you. Which, of course, put huge amounts of pressure on me. But I relished it, I suppose. Okay, Britt, cheers. Oh, hang on.
Hi.
You can't just... Is this better be a nice question, Chris?
Yes, I think we got off on the wrong foot.
Well,
to make it a bit right.
Okay, come on.
I just wanted to say that one of the main reasons I greatly enjoyed, especially the third season of Picard, was you and the way you played off against Patrick Stewart. I don't think many people can hold their own against Patrick Stewart, and you did it. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Chris.
And Michael.
What do you mean one of? When you say one of, surely just one. Sorry, no, go.
So the question is, you said that your father was a fan of the original series and you were a fan of Next Generation as well.
Well, I didn't quite say that.
So you watched Next Generation?
Yes, I have nostalgic memories of it. I don't want to...
Yes, I just quoted, sorry. So were you at all, now that you're part of the Star Trek family, were you at all surprised of the massiveness of the fandom, of how it's still going on after all those years and reactions?
I'm not surprised that it's still going on, no. Because the people I've met along the way, and already I feel the energy in this room, are so wonderful and so passionate about the thing that they love. And I think because it was so unique in its beginning, and we all know the story about, how it pushed for diversity, it pushed for inclusion, like the whole premise of what Starfleet are about and what they're looking for and how they want to bring everything and everybody, no matter what you are, who you are, how you sound, what you look like, where you come from, is a foundation that every single one of us on this actual planet should be adhering to daily. So no, because that message is so strong, and yes, and at times it's camp and it's glamorous and it's great and we love it and we love the costumes and the phases and some of the dialogue and the far out idea, but it's really smart. Like I don't understand half the science because I'm not a scientist. That's not my brain. But the amount of people I've met along this journey that are properly smart people that have been inspired by the original series or Next Gen or whatever and gone on and moved it worked in science and worked in various fields. No, I'm not surprised that it's still going. But I do hope that it continues to last. I do hope that the right people at the right time, I think they need to make sure that they listen. I'm not saying that fans have the power, because it's not, I don't mean it like that. I don't think it's not about, but I do believe there's a reason that so many people are so invested in it, and I think it's very important. So I'm a massive football fan, right? I'm a huge Tottenham Hotspur fan. We just won a big tournament trophy, right? But sometimes the fans don't feel like they're being listened to. That happens in football all the time. I believe that how you guys will stay together, and how it will keep moving forward, is if the fans listen to. So if we can do more shows, but they've got to be the right sort of show. Like they have to be. And I don't think there's a danger to just do things because they're nostalgic, because they are certain characters that we've loved and adored for years and years. I get why that is an appeal, but there is a danger with just trying to do too much of that as well. I think you do have to progress things. Star Trek is about progressing as well, right? Looking forward, moving out, looking outwards. We have to be able to do that. But I think it's very important moving forward that you're all listened to. So, yeah. Okay, Chris. There we go.
Yeah, hello. Hi, Ed. Kieran here.
What's your name?
Sorry?
What is your name?
Kieran.
Kieran?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
I'm not going to mention Irish Wish, but anyway.
No, let's not.
I was going to say though that, as a successful actor like yourself with a significant body of work and presumably a significant body of work going into the future, that the spotlight, rather than being on me at the moment, will be a little bit on probably Outlander and the Star Trek. So is that a good thing that you have specific areas which are being highlighted, or do you feel sometimes that that's going to take away from other parts of your work which maybe you feel very proud of or that you worked on? And then just as a follow-up a little bit, is that sometimes when you're doing a show, do you know it's going to be good when you're making it, or does everything feel like it's going to be good when you're making it and you just have to wait to see it on screen?
Good questions. The first part, of course there's things that you do it on the way that you really want people to see because you're passionate about them and you think that they deserve eyes on them and they don't necessarily get that. But so much of that is out of an actor's control. Unless you're like producing and directing it and you've got your back in it and you're putting it all the weight behind how it's marketed and all of that jazz, then you can't. There's no point getting caught up in the things you can't control. But if you do have those opportunities where there have been roles or things, projects that I've been a part of that people do admire, do flock to, and do appreciate, then that's the biggest compliment out there. It doesn't really matter what it is, in all honesty. Like if people come up and say they love Irish Whiz, then I'm not going to be like, oh god. I'll be like, great, amazing, thank you. I'm touched that has done something for you. For me, if any element of my work can transcend, can bring some positivity to anybody, to one person, if it can make one person think or smile or have a reaction, then that's great. So if you can do it on shows if you can be part of things that do it on a big scale, then it means the world. The second part, do you know? It's a really hard one. It's a good question because I think when we were making Picard, I didn't know the world inside out. I think that's what I was trying to say to Chris. Like, I knew enough about Star Trek, but I didn't know it inside out. And I didn't know enough about how you guys receive things. However, yes, I did get a sense when we were making it that this was pretty special. I did. Sometimes you work with people, creatives. Terry being one. Where you just get a sense that what is being pieced together is going to work, and it's going to work well. I've just finished something, a 4-part true crime thing for Left Bank and BritBox and ITV. Let's get all of those people in there, and I've no idea. You don't know how it's going to receive. However, it was one of the most both cathartic but enriching and full-bodied experiences I've ever had. Just as a process from producers and directors and the lead actress all the way through, it was just an amazing experience. And I think that one could be really good, but I could be wrong. Like it could come out next year and I could be so far off the mark. So you don't really know. But I think I've been doing it 20 years now. Next month. And I think with enough that sort of experience, you start to gauge. You know when something's going to be at least half decent or not. Also, I try, not always succeeding, to filter what I actually take on these days. Early parts of my career was like just work, get experience under my belt, and I did some absolute turkeys. And that's all right. That's kind of cheers, Kieran. It was lovely chatting to you.
Right, thank you.
They turned the light off in you. Hey, he's back. Yeah. So anyway, you don't always know, but I feel like I'm filtering it out. You're hoping to a point where at least there's enough of something in each one now.
All right, thank you.
Cheers. Hello.
Hi there.
Hi there. What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm from Germany, south.
Great.
My name is Maria.
Maria?
Yes.
Hi, Maria.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.
In the 20 years of your career, you were part of so many, let's say, different franchises, fandoms, sci-fi, fantasy, Outlander, Downton Abbey. I was just wondering if you can spot the difference in fans, how they are passionate about, or if you even can say, that's a Downton Abbey fan, and that's a FedCon, sci-fi fan.
What I found really interesting, good question. I mean, what I found interesting going to more and more of these sorts of events is there's weird crossovers, like Outlander and Star Trek crossover seems to be a thing. I keep meeting Outlander fans who are Star Trek fans. Or Outlander, but then sometimes you get Star Trek and Downton Abbey fans. I'm like, how? So yes and no. I think you can. put it this way, when I came in here last night, I was like, oh yeah, I'm around Star Trek fans now. I felt it, I could sense it, I could smell it, I could hear it. No. No, there's a Star Trek, ode to Star Trek. You can see it bottled in cologne, not cologne, but shots. There's a vibe. Come on, I've done the cruise. There's a vibe. You know what I mean. There's a Star Trek vibe. Be proud of it. Own it. Like, that's why we're here. Right? So there's a distinct Star Trek, but there is interesting crossovers. The Outlander. I don't know if there's Outlander fans in here. There's a few, right? The true Outlander fans. Like exclusive Outlander fans. Oh, exclusive Outlander, where are you? The one person not wearing Star Trek gear. They're quite interesting. They're a bit handsy and a bit touchy-feely in the conventions. And they're a bit, I don't know, because the books and the series, there's a lot of shagging. Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah, you are.
Alright, it's very forward. And I've met a lot of these lovely fans, and normally, but not exclusively, they're women. They're quite forward as well. And they're all married. And they don't care. So, I've left some Outlander conventions a bit uncomfortable. But I haven't left a Star Trek convention uncomfortable.
And I can assure you that if you're going to come to MagicCon, who is also taking place here.
Yes.
There are a lot of Outlander fans here, and you definitely won't feel uncomfortable.
Right. So probably don't go to that one.
No, you do.
When is it? What time of year is that?
End of September.
Oh, beautiful. Well, let's have a chat with... Does someone want to go and chat with Dirk? And then we'll set it up. And then if someone can also be my private handler so I don't get manhandled by the Outlander fans, no offence. Great. We've got 5 minutes left. I think I'm supposed to announce that because they keep flashing it in front of me. Hello. Hi. What's your name?
Nadia.
Nadia?
Yes.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Thank you. I actually want to ask you how great you think are our chances to see more of Jack Crusher.
How great do I think the chances are?
Yes.
I'm a positive person. No, I am. I am. Well, it wasn't always. I reckon there's an 85% chance. I'm basing this on absolutely nothing, by the way. I just think, if I sat there and go, 30%, 40%, then it's not going to happen, is it? Let's put it out there. Let's keep putting it out there. I genuinely would do it for a long time. Until I lose my hair. But then actually I can do it anyway. Patrick, it worked for him, so that's fine.
Well, I definitely hope to see more of Jack Crusher.
Me too. And then we can do more of these. If I do 6 years of Jack Crusher, I'll have lines all the way around the building. It'd be amazing. No? Okay, sorry. You can see I have an ego, can't you? Jesus. Don't ever let Ed Speleers have a panel on his own ever again. Oh, last question, please. See, I'm having to make this announcement. This is unbelievable. I should get paid more to do this. Last question, please.
Hi.
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 What's your name?
María José.
Say that again, please.
María
Yes.
José.
Oh, María José.
I'm Spanish.
Oh,
My name
¿dónde
is
España?
Madrid.
Oh, Madrid.
Yeah.
Muy bonito.
Thank you. Gracias.
De nada. Mi madre vivió en España por 20 años. Pero estudió en colegio, pero hablé un poquito.
Muy bien, muy buen español. Perfecto.
So if anyone's writing any scripts in Spanish, or they've got an idea that's set in Madrid, or Mallorca, or Barcelona, I'm there. Let's go.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm part of the Letters for Legacy initiative.
Yes.
We are here with a bunch of letters for people to sign. And we will send them to Paramount.
Yes.
To convince them to green light Star Trek Legacy.
You're giving me goosebumps. Have you, listen, hang on, have you all signed this?
Yeah.
You fucking arseholes, get signing!
So, we are going to be here,
Yes.
please, for the rest of the people.
Great.
Come here, sign the letter. We will give you, as a giveaway, some stickers
Yes.
also. So,
They're going in my suitcase. They're going everywhere with me. Send them, let's have it. Come on, we all want the legacy, everyone wants it. Let's have it.
Yeah, we want Star Trek Legacy, so
Me too.
please sign, look for me, sign.
All of you, even if you don't like, even if you're coming in for another panel for somebody else who's less interesting, then just sign for legacy.
Yeah, please.
We're quite happy. We're quite happy. We don't need. I reckon we can convince. We'll just stay here. Right. Did you have a question?
No, thank you.
What's the question? Oh yeah.
I'm so sorry to say that, but the time is up for today. There's another panel tomorrow.
But that's everyone though, right?
Yeah, right.
Not as fun. Saying sorry, I've got no ego.
So let me say thank you very much for being the newest member of the FedCon family.
Am I? Has everyone else been here before?
No.
See?
Most of them are. No, thank you very much for being here. And yeah, let's make some noise for Speleers! Thank you very much. Just Speleers, everybody.